Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, Bob's Garage. Well, traditional fashion, I guess. I went to use the leaf blower last time, I guess, for the season, and it wouldn't work. And frankly, never got quite to it. Knew what I needed to do, but never got to it. And now there's snow on the ground. But anyways, I'll get it all set for next year. So the problem I had was it's a fairly new leaf blower, but the problem I had was the primer bulb. I couldn't, this happened once before, but it went away, it didn't last. So you go to press the primer bulb. Here, I'll just show you. You go to press, so I got it set half apart already. So this is a Husqvarna 125BV leaf blower. And like I said, it happened before, but I go to press the primer bulb and it sticks closed. So that is basically the suction. I'm going to turn you guys around so I can free it with both hands. So see if you can see in there now. So this bulb, if I pull this line off, this one here, I'll explain this in a second, pops right open. So this top line I just connected is the suction. It goes to the top of the carb and then through the carb, and that goes into the suction of the gas tank. So there's a plastic tube that goes down and a little filter. So what this does, it creates a vacuum that pulls the gas up through that filter, through the carburetor and up, and pushes it down back into the carb like a recycling. So the fact this wouldn't come back and I pull this off means this line's blocked. So it can be two things. It can be the filter that's inside, or it can be something wrong with the carburetor. So I'll just jump ahead. I've already gone inside and taken off the filter in the end. That's not the problem. I can't get anything through the carburetor. So this is a pretty common problem. There's the filter, it's a very fine filter, almost like a piece of ceramic. Acts like a pre-filter. But inside the carburetor, there is a screen and there is a diaphragm. The diaphragm works on the pressure variations of the running motor, act like a little pump to get fuel to go through. So the primer bulb circulates fuel first through the system, and then the running motor pumps it afterwards. So the fact I can't get it through, not likely the diaphragm, but it's possible, it's probably the screen. Anyways, this is probably the most common failure. The ironic thing, though, about all this is, so I was trying to figure out what's the best solution, how far to go apart this. So I went through, like I said, and checked through all the lines, and everything was clear. So it's in the carburetor. I know that just by separating the line between the bottom of the carburetor and the top. I could tell that it's actually in the carburetor itself. The ironic part about this, though, is that when I started doing the research of bits and pieces, this repair kit, just generic tune-up kit off Amazon, this part here, which is the filter, you can see that's the little filter I'm talking about that goes inside the tank right there. All the lines, gaskets, filter, wrench, and then air cleaner filter, all of that is like $18. The carburetor is an additional $5 more. So it's not an original manufacturer. But frankly, this is what this basically is, a throwaway part. So I'm going to take all these new parts, put it into this weed eater, and there's nothing to it. What I've done so far is just so I can, like I said, took this cover off to access it. But all there is, once you've taken off the air filter cover, just unthreads, and then remove the filter element. You can see that's getting a little bit in the dirty side, so it's probably worthwhile to do that anyways. 2 little hex bolts that go off, slide off. You have to move the choke lever over to the side. There's a gasket. And you slide that off, and you still can't get the carburetor off because these 2 bolts are very long, and there's a rod that goes to the throttle. So what you have to do next is remove the pull start mechanism, just 4 screws, and they're a machine thread. And once that's off, there is these 3 screws here, and the whole side will come off, and then you can disconnect the throttle rod, from the carburetor, and you can put the whole new assembly in. So this whole gas line assembly just pops in the tank, soft rubber. So I think for the ease of simplicity, that bulb's well, I'll try it anyways. The bulb's a little on the hard side. But I'm going to swap these 2 parts out. And the only really tricky part about this is to pry up. You'll not be able to see that too. I'm going to move the light over a bit more. The only tricky part is prying up that little rubber bushing where the gas lines go through. But that's about it. So I'm going to take all these screws off, take it apart, and swap those components out and bring you back. Okay, take 2. I had to make sure my mic was on this time. I've changed up what I was planning to do, and I'll explain why. So there's the whole kit, but I've only swapped the carburetor. I'm not going to put all the tubes in. I've already checked they're all free. It's only about 5 years old, so I'm not going to change out these parts yet. I'll save these for when these eventually break, and they will break. The additives and fuel will cause this vinyl tube to become brittle, and it will break. But right now everything's good. As a matter of fact, I even reused gaskets again. It's only 5 years old, so and I'll probably even clean this out. I'll take it apart and show you. There's a little screen in there, and they get clogged up, or the diaphragm breaks. So the diaphragm breaks, it's garbage. But if it's just the screen like I suspect it is, because I couldn't draw anything through, then I'll clean that and throw that in the box and save that again as well. So real straightforward again. It helps to tilt this on its end to hold the cover in place where you put the side on, and then the recoil and the screws. 3 are machines thread, 3 are coarse thread. They go into plastic versus metal, and that's basically it. So I'll bring you back when that's done, but I don't expect much problem there. Okay, all back together, probably 6 minutes in total. Did have to go take the cover back off because the gasket slipped down, so have to keep an eye on that. Put the new filter on, like I said. Well, that worked pretty good. It's like -5, so whatever the hell that is, like 24 degrees Fahrenheit. Yeah, probably about 24 degrees Fahrenheit. So a little hard to set it up for this kind of weather. But yeah, just a teeny little adjustment for the high speed. A little bit, both had to be richened up, but again, it's probably because it's so cold. But first pull, or I should say a second pull, I didn't have to prime it too much because I already primed it a few times before. So I'm pretty happy with that. Pretty close tune right from the very beginning. I'll continue to adjust the low speed and the high speed idle mixed a little bit. But it's ballpark for now, and frankly I need to put it away for the winter anyways. But it ran great. So for basically $23, I've got a completely new carburetor and line, so I have spare parts for the next time something might break down. Really worthwhile. It's worth saving these things instead of, it's not an expensive blower, but it's worth saving instead of throwing it out. Anyways, I hope you found this helpful. Again, don't do these little small engine repair type videos anymore because nobody's interested in them, but throw this one up anyways. Feel free to comment. If you want links or anything to the parts that I got, put it in the comments and I'll send something in there. But thanks for watching.